I have a sister-in-law who's from the Philippines that immigrated over here. I have a niece that she was actually an illegal from Mexico, and my nephew's wife, told her, look, you want to come here, you want to be here, go back and do it the right way. 6 months later, she was back the legal way.
Okay.
Okay? I don't wish anybody any ill harm in anywhere that they live, but we've got so many people here that we need to take care of. We just can't afford to fill everything up with people we know nothing about.
I'm doing something called street epistemology. Epistemology is a philosophical term. It means the study of knowledge. And so what I do is I ask someone to pick a belief, a claim, a stance, or something like that, something that they're very passionate about, and then I ask questions to figure out how they got to that conclusion and the method they used.
Okay.
And I might ask some questions that will like gently challenge how you could be so sure that it's actually true.
Okay.
So, are you okay if I record it?
That's fine.
Okay. What was your name?
Ron.
Ron. My name's Eddie.
Nice to meet you, Eddie.
Nice to meet you as well. All right. Let's see. Make sure I should be good. Cool. All right. So, when I say it could be about anything, I mean it could be anything. So, some like truth claim that you are like it's influential to you. So, like if you woke up tomorrow and no longer had that position or belief or whatever it is, it might change your actions in some way. Is there anything like that you want to like kind of unpack a little bit today?
Well, I've got a big issue with illegal immigration.
Okay, yeah, sure, we can talk about that. So, let's put that for short. Okay, I'll start the timer. So what is your position on illegal immigration?
I think it's wrong for our country just to let anybody walk across the border that wants to come across the border. I think they should do it through the legal procedures that are in place. There's all this rhetoric about immigration reform, and one side, immigration reform means open the door for everybody. The other side of the aisle, immigration reform means restrict it to those coming in through the door legally, who've applied for immigration previously. A little bit of background on me. I served 25 years in the Air Force. I've been all over the world. I've seen people from all walks of life. And yes, the United States is a great place to live, no doubt about it. Great people here with warm hearts. But there are so many people here in the United States that need a hand up to get them going in their lives so that they can provide for their family. Okay? Not necessarily continuous handouts, but a hand up to help them get there. Okay? Some of the states are allowing illegal people to come in that state, stand in line and get a driver's license without question, and in doing so in that state, all you have to provide is a photo ID to vote. Okay? And in order for them to vote, now we've got, I don't know, millions of people voting on our laws, our candidates. They're not even citizens. And if you want that right, become a citizen. Do it the right way.
Okay. So when it comes to immigration, is it your stance that as long as it's legal, then you're okay with it, or is it a particular?
If they do it through the legal procedures that we have established, fantastic. I have a sister-in-law who's from the Philippines that immigrated over here. I have a niece that she was actually an illegal from Mexico, and my nephew's wife, told her, look, you want to come here, you want to be here, go back and do it the right way. 6 months later, she was back the legal way.
Okay.
I don't wish anybody any ill harm in anywhere that they live, but we've got so many people here that we need to take care of. We just can't afford to fill everything up with people we know nothing about.
Okay. So you raised the issue that we have enough people here that's hard to take care of.
Yep.
Do you also feel that people should limit how much kids they have because we already have too many people?
No, I think that's a God-given right. I think that a family having children is whatever God wants them to do in their life. They have to answer on that.
So why do you think, in one hand, we have the capability to educate and take care of our own kids, but we may not have the capacity to take care of others?
We're not
citizens?
doing a good job of educating and taking care of our own children.
But
if the government wants to take the role of providing for the illegals, they should step up to the plate and give a hand up to the people that are already here that need a little bit of assistance, need to get ahead. I'm not trying to sound like I don't care about other people. I do. I've seen how they live. But somewhere along the line, if we're going to hand it out, we owe it to the American citizens who's been here, paying their taxes, living by the laws that we have established. And the argument comes up, how can a person be illegal? They're still a person. I agree with that, but they broke the law.
Okay, so it's like a legal thing?
They broke the law to get here.
I'm not saying this is the case, but hypothetically, let's say some state or even maybe like a federal law passed that really loosened up the borders and allowed people to effectively come across the border as much as possible. If that were legal, would that change your stance at all?
If that were the legal case, yes. If the laws were stated as such, yes, I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
But the laws aren't that way. They haven't been that way.
So, like, if someone proposed a law in that way, would you be like for or against it, or?
Well, I'm actually against it.
Okay.
I will support the law as it is.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm against doing it that way.
Yeah.
We're only country that I know of that illegals come in and we do everything to take care of them. I'm going to give you an example of a couple of issues as to why we need control on it. There's a lot of countries out there that when you're traveling to that country, you have to buy a traveler's insurance healthcare policy so that if you're in that country and you get sick, you're not a burden on those people in that government.
I didn't know that. Okay.
We're required to do it when we go other places. Japan is an example of that. It just, there's too much of a burden on the American taxpayer as it is.
Okay. Can I repeat kind of your position just to make sure I understand it correctly? And if I am misrepresenting it, just let me know, because I don't want to do that. It seems to me what you're saying is that above all, no matter what we have our opinions on, what the right immigration policy should be, but above all, we need to follow the law, whatever it happens to be.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
To do something illegally is it undermines everything that we try to do as a society. We try to
absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
and then you would also say that, but you personally don't think that open borders would be a good policy because we wouldn't be able to have the same what's the word I'm looking for, quality of life if we were to try to take care of everyone.
Absolutely. And whatever side of the fence you may be, and you can argue, this point can be argued all day long, the influx of illegal immigrants into this country, they're most cases willing to work for less than other people that have lived here. Therefore, that keeps income levels across the nation lower than they should be.
It's harder to compete.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a lot of these people that are coming in trying to escape countries with socialized medicine. Or, let me rephrase that, that's not the right word, socialism. They're trying to avoid an escape from socialism, from a dictator, from harsh living conditions, extremely high taxes. Venezuela is a very good example of how that's destroyed. You get all the illegals in here, now you've got this push for socialized medicine, right?
Okay, so it affects other areas.
It affects a lot of things. Now, the burden on me to provide medicine to illegals, whether it's socialized or not, it is wrong. But on socialized medicine, for an example, the founder of Home Depot, and you can look this up, validate it, had a relative who needed bypass surgery, put on a waiting list in Canada. Took him 6 months to get his turn to have bypass surgery. Okay, I'm sorry I left out an important fact. The founder of Home Depot is from Canada. Most of his relatives are in Canada.
Okay.
Okay. Another relative was diagnosed with cancer. Took 6-7 months for that person to be able to start chemo. People that's got cancer and need chemo, 6 or 7 months is a death sentence for a lot of them.
Let's kind of get into the healthcare debate as well.
And here's another example. Japan. They do not treat kidney disease. They don't do dialysis. They don't do transplants. So if you've got a kidney ailment, you're going to die from it.
Could we go back to the immigration?
Sure.
What would you say to someone who had the position that we should limit the amount of children we could have because we can't maintain the same level of our same lifestyle because it would cost too much to educate them and care for them?
I think that's kind of an apples and oranges situation. Now, you talking about American citizens being limited to the amount of children they can have?
So I guess their position would be to have, let's say, more than one child would be a hindrance to our lifestyle
No, because here's a simple math for you. All right, I get married. Okay, my wife and I only have one child.
Okay.
That will cause the population to decline. It takes 3 children for the population to grow.
Okay.
Because with 2 children, we're only replacing ourselves.
Okay. So maybe the law would be only 2 kids.
I don't think there should be a law restricting how many kids you can have. There's people out there that have a dozen kids and all the kids grow up just fine. There's people out there with 1 kid and the kid turns out to be a non-productive member of society. So the number of kids is not a factor. I don't think it's our government's. Let me back up and I'll start with a different sentence. I don't think it's our government's place to tell me how many children I can have, what size soda I can drink,
okay,
what health care insurance I must buy. It's not our government's place to run our daily life.
If this person who's making this case said it's not the government's place to tax me for someone else's kid's education, what do you think? Is that a legitimate position?
Depends on the context. Now, if you're talking about paying for their college tuition.
No, any education.
No, because my ancestors paid taxes for the schools that I benefited from. So now I'm paying taxes to benefit the next generation of kids.
Okay, so what if, like, maybe if you didn't want any kids, you can opt out of that tax?
No.
Okay.
It's a society thing that we need to do
to take care of people.
Take care of, Tyler, as an example, we've got beautiful schools all around town. Almost every one of them's brand new within the last few years. It's tax dollars that come out of my pocket to help pay for those.
Yeah.
As well as a bunch of other people.
Do you think there's some benefits to everyone taking care of kids' education and medical, anything they need, even if they don't have kids? Is there a societal benefit to that?
Again, there's a couple issues there. The way our tax system works, the independent school districts, the school districts, etc., are allowed to tax property. Okay?
Okay.
We pay property tax to support those institutions. On the other side, out of a person's check each pay period comes income tax. Depending on where you live, you may have a state income tax, and some of the bigger cities even have a city income tax. In addition to that, you have the school systems doing their taxes and the counties charging their taxes. And there's a Medicare tax.
Yeah, I guess my question
that comes into that. And if you're wanting to take care of the needs of everybody, then that Medicare tax would be the funding for that.
I guess my question is, like, would there be a negative impact if everyone had to pay for schooling themselves, like, as a society, if we just implemented, you have to take care of all schooling, not just college? If we did that, would there be a negative impact on our society?
I think so. I think it would be, because we're not structured financially and haven't been structured financially in that way in this country. It would take a total different mindset to be able to get to that point.
Yeah. Would you say that even though, let's say, someone's not doing so well, at least they can send their kids to get a high school education, and that kid can, because we invest in that kid that may not have done that otherwise if we wouldn't pay for their schooling, they could become a very productive person in society.
Yeah.
Because we've invested in them.
Yeah. I grew up here in Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay. And I grew up what I considered poor. My parents didn't have money to spend buying all the neat stuff. I worked 40 hours a week from the 8th grade on.
Mm-hmm.
And I graduated high school alongside Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell made his choices in life very productive. He's done some very good things. I took a different path.
Mm-hmm.
I provided for my family. I retired at age 58 completely. I think that the people just need to...
Yeah, there's definitely a level of responsibility people have to take at a certain age, for their own life and what path they take. But I think we can agree that if we at least invest in children and get them to a point where they can give them the tools that they need to get to a particular point, like
and I think we do that through property tax that helps fund the school systems in that manner. I think we do that. I think we do a very good job of it. And I think that we can all agree, especially here in East Texas or throughout Texas, that any kid who applies themselves with their parents providing encouragement and support for them to apply themselves can be anything they want to be. There's no restrictions on how far you can succeed in our current system.
Mm-hmm.
Others may disagree with that, in that therefore they send their kids to private school. But I still think that society as a whole, with the taxation system and what have you,
can invest in our kids.
Is an investment in our kids, and it works quite well for those that choose to apply themselves. Now, I've got a granddaughter. She could be taking honors classes, straight A student, extremely intelligent, but she lays on her ass. She's 17 years old and chooses not to apply herself. And then in a few years, whose fault is that gonna be when she chose not to apply herself, even through continuous prodding of everybody?
Yeah. Do you think there could be, let's say, like, we took this scope and zoomed out and said globally, if countries could adopt a policy that would say that we are going to invest in our children no matter what country we're from, and we're going to educate our kids because globally it's better for everyone if we can at least take care of our kids.
I don't think it should be a global thing.
Okay.
I just don't. Yes, we're all here on Earth, but even people from East Texas, they have different values than pockets in other areas. I don't think that any one country or organization should force one set of values for all of Earth.
Okay, so do you think one of the values that we hold in East Texas, or maybe the United States, would be take care of our own first?
I think it's where it should be.
Okay.
I really do. I really think that that we should take care of our own.
But once we, as a country, we should. You're saying we should do that, but like if we were to apply that to like a family unit, I'm going to take care of my own. I'm not going to pay taxes to help the society. You don't think it should go that far?
No, I think the structure that we have is extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
We could do better in providing for kids and families in the United States than what we do. And to make that better is not necessarily to stop the taxes and each individual be responsible. I don't think that would make life better for anyone.
All right, man.
I mean, I really never thought of the taxes issue. I mean, it's just part of what we do.
Yeah.
I just don't think that doing away with the educational system and the funding that it has would help anybody.
Yeah. As a society, I think it.
I don't think it would help anybody.
You know, when we take care of other people outside of our family unit, it really helps the society as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what we need. That's what I've been getting called on.
I think we could do a better job within the walls of the school.
Well, yeah, that's another topic.
Than what we do. And I think the money that we're putting into it, we should demand a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think if you're look back 200 years ago, where farming and ranching was primarily what people did.
Mm-hmm.
Each family educated their own. And there was a few that broke out and went other places and managed to get higher education, etc. But I think the growth of through the years of the way the education system has evolved, the taxation to help the greater good, has really been a good thing.
Yeah.
So what are you doing this research for?
This is not a research thing. This is like a hobby of mine. I saw someone else do it, and I thought that it's just a great way to have conversations with people about anything, and it's way more productive than like arguing or anything like that. And so what I try to do is just whatever the topic is, just set aside my what I think, and it's more about just exploring the ins and outs of someone else's position without it being like an argument or like people being defensive. And I think it's a great format for open discussion.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just if you're going to build something out of wood, you measure twice, cut once. Right?
Very smart. Yeah.
And before I retired, I recruited doctors across the nation for various hospitals and clinics. And there was a couple of times I had to tell the doctor, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means listen twice as much as you talk. And I firmly believe that. People need to listen to other people.
All right, Ron, I appreciate your time.
Have a good day, sir.
You gave me way more than 10 minutes. I appreciate that.
Like I said, I retired years ago. I enjoy life.
Yeah.
Some things about what's going on that I hate, and some things that's going on that I like. There's no perfect answer for any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think socialism is the answer to it.
Well, maybe if I see you on the trail again, and you want to discuss something else, I'd be more than happy to do that.
All right. You have a good day, sir.
You as well.